welcome to this very, very special Q&A video. And I'm super happy to have these two super inspiring and super empowered women to help me answer your questions in this video. Please say hi to entrepreneur Rissa Mananquil Trillo and TV host Gretchen Ho.
Hello. Hi, Bianca.
Thanks for having me, Bianca.
Thank you both for saying yes, and this will be a super fun Q&A. So let's get started.
Yeah, game.
We are answering 6 questions, and this is the first round, 1 question each. The first question is game show. The first question is for Gretchen. So this is from Marjorie Cassell on Instagram. She asks, how to handle societal pressure or expectations?
Oh, ako, madaming pressure and expectations, lalo na when you are in the public field. Alam nyo yan, but as a woman in action, and ako sabi ko nga, na-share ko nung International Day of the Girl, that I am the only girl amongst 3 boys sa family. Tapos I grew up trying to not be left out of the games with my brothers. Like we would play basketball, baril-barilan, tapos yung mga laruan ng mga kapatid ko, yung army bases, instead of Barbie dolls. Yung Barbie dolls talagang tinatago ko sa closet. Kasi, when I was young, I wanted to really fit in and always be part of whatever my siblings were doing. I took it as a challenge to break the stereotype, and I think that's also the reason why I delve into so many sports, so many things na hindi mo maiisip na gagawin ng isang babae. Kasi parang naiinis ako na you're setting limitations upon me just because of me being a girl. So I think the way that I deal with pressure and expectations is I break it. I break it, and I feel like that somehow opens the way for other women to see that kaya naman, kailangan lang ng lakas ng loob.
I love that. And I do remember that post. Super cute. Okay, question number 2 is for Rissa. This is from Han Giron on Twitter. It's about love.
Whoa!
Sabi niya, pagdating po ba sa love, kailangan ba may sign para malaman kung siya na talaga?
Wow. It's a very, very valid question. Kasi us as women, di ba, our personal lives are as important as our professional lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being a woman in this era, it's hard. Kasi sobrang laki ng pressure for women to be great both at work and at home. To combine that professional success and satisfaction with real commitment to family. Sometimes you feel like, is it love or career? And I always say that it's really hard to feel successful at work if you're not successful at home. So that's why the right partner is important. And are there signs? Big yes. The most important things for me are 2 things. 1, you have to share the same values because this will serve as your compass as a couple from the little things like how you treat your kasambahays or employees or even how you raise your children, especially if you have daughters and the roles they'll take in the future. And sharing the same values also gets you through the hardest times and also makes you stronger as a couple. The second sign is you ask yourself, is this person going to be 100% supportive of your own aspirations? Does he care about sharing the workload at home? Does he care about caring or raising children? Or are you just going to get dumped with all the unpaid home labor or work at home? Because these are things you have to consider. Otherwise, move on. So move on to the next one. No, really, because I think the big realization here is that a woman's career can only be as good as the person she marries. Why? We always hear this expression, women breaking the glass ceiling, right? I recently read an article that said, your glass ceiling is sleeping in bed next to you. Women marry their glass ceilings.
Wow.
That's so true, because if I look at my own personal experience, I'm super, super grateful. I have a husband who never held me back. I was able to start and run a business while juggling 2 babies, pursue my MBA, and publish a book, all at the same time. And any success I've achieved is directly correlated to how much he was willing to be an amazing parent. He supports me to the point that he always makes sure I have the time to accomplish whatever I need to do. And for any work-life balance you think I have, he is the reason. So all of these are accomplishments by a woman but they wouldn't have existed without a man. And that's my husband.
Oh,
Ang
So,
ganda.
ganda.
I actually want to end and share a quote with another powerful woman, Sheryl Sandberg, Facebook CEO.
Mhm.
She once said in a graduation commencement speech, the most important career decision you're going to make is whether or not you have a life partner and who that partner is.
I love that. Ganda. Uwi na tayo, Gretchen.
Uwi na tayo.
Diba? Relevant
Teka,
talaga ang love life to women empowerment.
Hindi, totoo, napakahalaga nun. Kasi minsan, yung akala natin na signs, yung parang the star alignment, kaya nagpadala ba ng bulaklak na ganitong araw. Pero yan yung mga signs na dapat natin
Yan ang
hinahanap.
sign.
Oo.
May
I
checks ka dapat.
agree. I totally agree. Love that answer. Parang ayoko na sagutin yung question ko. Parang ang hirap sundan itong dalawang to. Okay, the third question is from Carlota, Tata, on Instagram. She asks, how would you know if it's time to give up or to stay? Now, I have no idea if this is a career question or a love question, but siguro if it were a career question, I listened to this podcast recently, and it was a conversation between Musa and Farid. They're both marketers. And the answer of Musa to this question about moving on to the next job, how do you know if it's time to say bye to the last one and go on to the next one? He said that everyone should have their North Star. It's like the pinnacle of what you want to achieve in life. That is not static. It could change, diba? It could move, it could adjust. But in terms of making that decision, sabi niya, where you are right now, is it getting you closer to that North Star? However you want to define that, whether financial, whether personal fulfillment, whether like what you want to learn, if it's getting you closer to your North Star one way or the other, then you could stay. But if your next step is the one that will get you a bit closer to that North Star, then you can move on. And then Farron naman, her compass of moving on to the next thing in terms of career is she already teaching more than she's learning? Because she said that in every job that we have, we both learn and teach. But when it comes to the point na parang I'm just teaching too much and I'm not learning, meaning I'm not growing, I'm not parang moving forward and becoming better, yun yung sign niya to move forward. And on a personal note, siguro something that has helped me make that decision several times in my life is connected to what you both said earlier about parang pushing ourselves to be better, whether that's breaking the ceiling or going to our next goal or growing. Sometimes it's so easy to be complacent. O sige, dito na lang ako. But then you see wonderful things that Gretchen or Rissa are doing, for example. You're like, hindi, kaya ko pa. I can do this. I can take that next step. So that has also been, I guess, a guiding principle in making this decision. Now, if this question about giving up or staying is love, I refer you, please rewind to the answer of Rissa earlier. And that is the best answer if you should give up or stay in your love life. Okay, yay! Let's end round one of our questions. Okay, this is round two. Medyo mabigat to mga questions na to because when I posted the question on Twitter, I got questions from the UN Women Asia account. Okay, and we are going to answer one question each. And the first one is for Gretchen. They say the Philippines is among the world's most gender equal countries. Do you feel this is evident today?
In terms of gender equality, parang napaka-empowered ng women around us. Like, Mother's Day, for one, is the most hectic, busiest day for restaurants. Kasi we celebrate moms. We celebrate female strength. But upon reading about the topic and taking a deeper look, I feel like there needs to be more improvement when it comes to women's representation in certain fields. Like, for example, government. Ilan ba yung mga leaders natin sa government na babae? Are they treated with respect when they get into positions of power? If you take a look at the science industry, how many women are there? If you take a look at the tech industry, how many females are there? And actually, I read this kahapon from a ASEAN economist that the Philippines now fell from the top 10 countries that are most gender equal to ranking number 16 out of 153 countries. Ang na-cite nila na reasons for that is what affects women. There are issues with, of course, marriage and childbearing when it comes to getting into the labor force. Tinatanong daw yung mga kababaihan kung ano ba yung family life plans nila. Meron tayong disproportionate representation of women sa labor force. It also says, according to statistics, that women who get college diplomas have higher chances of getting into the labor force. Compared to men who just reach high school level, they still get work. Hindi pa rin equal the way we want it to. And there are lots of points for improvement. But I think women empowerment right now and us highlighting different female figures, there's a pushback kasi ngayon, we also see more of the youth empowering other girls, other women. For example, we see young Pinays in tech, young Pinays in government. So the more that you try to beat upon women, the more there's a pushback. And I think now is the high time for that.
Bigat ng question yan, pero ang ganda ng sagot. Love it. Okay, next question is for Rissa, again, from UN Women Asia. Women on the sidelines, is gender inequality putting companies at the risk of losing talent?
For me, definitely, because girls are change makers, world shakers, and future shapers. And you can already easily see the effect in a household when a man makes way for what a woman can do and support her. So what more if you multiply that in companies? So I'll start by sharing this true story. A woman was appointed as president and CEO here in the Philippines for one of the imported car brands in the auto industry. She was a woman in a male-dominated industry because it's all cars. So in her first meeting with the foreign executives, they asked her, "You're a woman. What do you know about cars?" And she just calmly replied, "Will you allow me a minute to address you as an equal?" She got her minute and asked them in return, "You're a Korean. What do you know about the Philippine market?" And I really loved that story because I could never forget how it showed how a woman can still be in charge of her future despite gender inequality at work. I think that story was around 2016. But you're right, today we have so many female success stories. We have female astronauts historically making it to space, and recently an all-female team winning the Nobel Prize in chemistry. So both fields are usually dominated by men, but women are smashing stereotypes today. So just to share also some statistics, in 2018, men held 77.5 or 3/4 of the Fortune 500 board seats, while women only held 22.5 or 1/4. So there's really underrepresentation of women at every level of leadership, especially in large companies. The UN made these sustainable development goals. And the fifth goal is gender equality. And all those goals they listed are supposed to be met or achieved ideally by 2030. And right now, no country is on target to meet the Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which is gender equality. And in fact, estimates suggest that it will take over 250 years to achieve economic gender parity. I mean, how crazy is that, right? We're still a long way, but that just tells us that we have to work harder and do better. When we think about gender equality, some people think, oh, gender equality is just about women being treated like men. Yan, equal na, gender equality. But honestly, gender equality really means equal respect, equal representation, equal responsibilities at home, equal pay for equal work, equal opportunities, bodily autonomy, and even freedom from stereotypes like you're just a girl, you can't do that, you know. And right now, because of the pandemic, mas na-magnify na 1.8 times more vulnerable women's jobs than men's jobs right now. And we can't deny that it's the women who are twice as likely expected to be responsible for all the homeschooling that's happening now. Add to that, that women are already expected to bear the load of domestic duties or emotional labor. You know, even if you're not a wife, you're a sister. If you live in a household that doesn't support feminism, the girls are expected to do all the chores. Diba? May mentality na ganun pag very patriarchal household. People I know, they're married to nice men, but you can't deny that the guys still think their jobs are more important than their wives' jobs. So a lot of women are dropping out the wives will just sacrifice and drop out of the workforce so that sila na lang yung bahala sa online.
Masakit sa ego.
Yeah. You know, having a job or having your own business is very empowering kasi iba yung self-fulfillment eh. At home, the right partner makes a difference with the success you can achieve as a woman. But in companies, you want to have that kind of environment that will allow a woman to thrive and succeed, and companies should allow it to happen.
Yes, 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 and yes. And actually, sakto that you laid that all out, Reese, because it's connected to the last question. And this is again from UN Women Asia. With COVID-19 causing a backslide on gender equality in 2020, what can be done to secure the working conditions of women? You also mentioned Risa earlier, but I want to just say it again. Wow, may baon din akong statistic. This statistic is from Harvard Business Review. Women do an average of 75%, so 3/4 of the world's total unpaid care work. So unpaid care work, yan ang taking care of the children, taking care of elderly, cooking, cleaning, etc. For me, the question was about what can be done to secure working conditions of women. Parang for me, two-prong approach yan eh. One is at home. Breaking that gender stereotype really starts at home with how we raise our children. I see your post, Teresa, that you have 2 daughters, and between your 2 daughters, one likes pink and one likes blue. Same with mine. My panganay likes purple and my second likes blue as well. I see that you make them play with both boy toys and girl toys. And you had one story that I saw that resonated with me because it happened to me also. So you got this parang, was it a shelf or like a table?
The thing we assembled.
Yeah, the thing you assembled at home.
We got computer chairs and
computer chairs.
for their study room. And we assembled them. I told them, okay, we're going to bond tonight with us girls because Paolo was already at the PBA bubble. We're going to assemble the computer chairs. And they said, but Papi's not here. So I told them, who said assembling furniture is just for guys?
I totally agree kasi we had to assemble them on a shelf. My daughter did not ask me that, but I showed her that we did it together. So when I say it starts at home, we show our children that mommy can also work, first and foremost, as in like a career. Mommy can assemble and repair things around the house, and daddy can also look after the kids and change diapers and cook and clean. On the other hand, of course, it's in the workplace, right? We all have been reading about this. It's called the WEPs, or the Women Empowerment Principles. This was created by UN Women and UN Global Compact. It's a set of principles that can guide businesses on how to promote gender equality and women's empowerment in the workplace. So if your company, you who are watching this, joins the WEPs community, signal ito of your company, of your CEO, of your boss's commitment to help empower women in the workplace. And if you're interested to know more about it, I can put the links down below so you can click it. And that is actually the last question. And this video, as you might have noticed sa mga sinagot namin na tanong, this video is made in partnership with UN Women. And the reason we made this video is because, of course, Gretchen, Rissa, and I all support women empowerment, and we really wanted to tell you about the WEPs. So this is one project to help introduce to you what the WEPs is all about. And Rissa, I know you are doing another project about the WEPs. Tell us about that.
So I was asked and invited to do a letter to my younger self. It's a letter that talks to my younger self and describing how I felt society raised me at that time compared to what we're really meant to be right now. So it's a good comparison of what I was as a woman growing up versus what women are capable of now. So I will be sharing that also soon.
Okay, and Gretchen, you will be hosting the WEP Awards.
So we will be awarding the companies that have lived up to the women empowerment principles. Yung usapan natin ngayon, when you talk about women empowerment, akala kasi ng maraming tao, it's limited to discrimination and the things that go viral online. Pero dito sa usapan natin, nakita natin na ang daming layers ng women empowerment. It's not just giving value to the woman, but also being able to set up the proper infrastructure, the proper policies in place to make sure that we are indeed gender equal. Ito yung love ko about investing in women kasi there's a multiplier effect they're also able to empower other women and their families as well. Napakaganda no ng discussion na ito. And I think yung awards sa November 11, where we will be having with us si VP Lenny Robredo. We will also be joined by our partners from the EU and UN women representatives from the region. So tutukan niyo po kami.
Yes, for sure. And like you both mentioned, we do have a long way to go. Pero nandiyan eh. The conversation has begun. Let's just keep that ball rolling. And ibalik natin sa top 10 of gender equal nations ang Pilipinas kasi with you empower women talaga, amazing things can happen. Thank you so much, Gretchen and Rissa, for your time. I super enjoyed this conversation with the two of you. And again, if you'd like to know more about the WEPs, kung gusto niyo slide into the DMs of your workmates or to send it to your bosses to raise it in your meetings, I'll put the links down below, and do follow UN Women social media accounts. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.